Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Sean at PSI, and I figured today we'd walk you through the shop and show you what goes on in a normal day at PSI. We have some really cool performance stuff. I have some really cool maintenance stuff. So let's start over here with an N54 new motor going in. All right, so the first car we have on the lift over here on Ray's lift is an N54 engine swap. This car actually came in, the customer bought it from those who will not be named, and it came in with a low oil light. So we diagnosed the car, and it actually had the belt get sucked up into the crank seal, into the motor, into the oil pickup, and was oil starving the motor. So we told the customer, hey, we're gonna pull the belt out, we're gonna look at the motor, change the oil, and see what happens. We did that. Engine was running okay, but it shut off one day on us when we were pulling it into the shop. So it ended up needing a motor. The actual new motor is back in, and the motor that we took out is over here. You can't really see anything because it's on the pallet. It's a core, so it's gonna go back to the used motor shop. But it has number 5 cylinder failed, and let me walk you over here and show you what actually failed on the motor was the rod bearings. Because when you have oil starvation, the first thing to go, normally the rod bearings, then maybe the cam ledges on the top of the motor. But we see rod bearings a lot when this stuff happens. So let me show you the rod bearing and the wear on it, and then we'll take you through what we've done with the motor. All right, so the motor's in the car. Ray and Peyton are checking over the final stuff, and I pulled the rod bearing for you. So Dan, if you get close in on these rod bearings, so these are supposed to be baby smooth here. This is where the crank sits, this is where the rod sits. These failed, stops the motor. Motor shut off on this, right guys, when you were driving? Yes. Just turned off. This should start tomorrow. So what we do on an engine swap is we bring in the new motor and we actually transfer over all the accessories. So, you know, the AC compressor, the power steering pump, all the oil, you know, the oil filter stand, all of that comes off of the other motor and comes onto the new one. And then we place it back in the car. And normally to remove the motor, which we didn't show here, is it comes out the bottom through the bottom of the subframe. So we have a cart and everything that we drop the subframe on. So, you know, this is a maintenance job. This guy has some performance parts on the car. It has I think it has an exhaust and wheels and springs, but this is a maintenance job. It's an engine replacement. The guy bought the car. He wants to be able to enjoy the car for the next few years, you know, for the next forever, I guess. And so he did a new motor, so we're gonna finalize that. And let me take you over to another motor swap, but this one is a performance restoration sort of motor swap, a little bit of the same, a little bit different. Let's walk over there. All right, so this is an E30 convertible. It's actually a guy that was up north and he actually moved down here for work. So this is a engine swap for performance. So we actually did an S52 in this car. And this is an S52 with full bolt-ons. So it has headers and exhaust. It also has the M50 manifold and the manifold edition and a tune. So it's gonna make close to like 225, 230 wheel horsepower. So it's a lot more than the stock E30 had. And to me, it makes the car. You know, I have the same swap in my E30. I think it's the perfect swap. And so I recommend it to this customer and he went with it. And we've actually been working on it for a few weeks now. Peyton's actually been doing this project. And we actually did paint the engine bay. It needed some work, some restoration work. So we actually pulled the original motor and went to the body shop, went to Samuel's, and all the engine bay was painted. And now we've been meticulously just putting in the S52. It has all new seals, all new motor mounts, everything. We're just finishing up the cooling here. And actually on this, we're actually waiting for the power steering stuff to come in so that we can go ahead and install the radiator and get the lights and the grills back on the car. So this car is almost done, but this is another neat project. We've done quite a few of these now, and this really makes an E30. So, you know, these are cool cars from stock, but they just don't make a lot of power. And this is an OEM, totally OEM part car, totally OEM upgrade. Just a really cool thing that you can do to your E30. All right, now that I showed you the big motor stuff that we've been doing, let's walk over and show you something pretty boring over here on the alignment rack. So we just completed the alignment on this. This is a 997.1 GT3 RS. A lot of people know the car. It's had a couple different renditions that we've done. Cool thing is it's one of the rarest colors, which is the signal green. So the car was stock when we started. It originally had white wheels, which people would remember, with the white cage. Then there was another car that local customer did that was really similar. So Vince wanted to change the wheel color, so we went with the neon color, which he proved me wrong because I didn't think it was gonna work, but it actually did. This has Moton suspension on it. It has the two-way setup, which is sick for Vince because he rides super low and it has that adjustment for him. It has Recaro seats. It has a tune from JAC. It also has a FVD race exhaust. And you know, this is just normal service for him. We did an oil change today. We did an alignment today. He daily drives this car a lot. So this is just one of the many cars that cycles through the shop, and we do, you know, this is normal maintenance, an oil change, Porsche factory filter, all of that, and then an alignment, because he had some tire wear. But yeah, show him the steering wheel and stuff. So this has a quick disconnect steering wheel on it that we did. Pretty cool, Sabelt wheel, Alcantara. Just Vince loves the race feel of all of his cars. He wants a race car. So that's what we built. So we'll take you over around now and show you some more stuff. All right, so after the really boring Porsche that we just showed, I want to show you one final thing, which we're not going to get too into because we're going to do a full, you know, feature video on this car. But this is a car I've been working on for a couple years. It's a full ground-up restoration E36 M3. It has a S54 swap with all the different mods and different stuff. We did full interior on this car. It obviously has a color change. Does anyone know like what the color is? Let me know down in the comments. And I just want to end the video there. So, you know, hope you guys enjoyed the walkthrough. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page, hit the bell. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.